Imagine being just a little boy, only 7 years old, and your mother looks into your eyes and tells you, "One day you will be the king of Ethiopia." For most children, this might sound like a fairy tale, just a dream that disappears with time. But for Abiy Ahmed, those words became the seed of a destiny. From that moment on, he walked through life with one vision burned into his heart. One day he would lead his country. Abiy's story is not just about politics. It's about transformation, faith, persistence, and an unshakable belief in destiny. He would one day bring massive changes to Ethiopia, introducing reforms, making peace with enemies, and even winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Yes, Ethiopia still faces challenges and civil wars here and there. But Abiy Ahmed's journey remains a shining reminder that one dream, backed by determination, can change an entire nation. He was born in 1976 in the small town of Bishasha, in western Ethiopia. Life was not easy. He grew up in a humble family with no privilege, no wealth, and no guarantees. His father was a Muslim, and his mother was a Christian. Growing up in a household of two faiths taught him tolerance and understanding from the very beginning. Perhaps this is why he would later become a man of reconciliation, a man who dreamed of uniting his people. But the defining moment came when his mother told him about his destiny. She would tell neighbors, family members, and even strangers that her son was going to be a leader one day. Imagine being a child and hearing those words over and over. Instead of treating them like fantasy, Abiy began to shape his life around them. He studied hard. He dreamed big. And he worked with tireless discipline. At the age of just 14, Abiy Ahmed joined the Ethiopian army. Most teenagers at that age are still in school, still figuring out who they are. But Abiy already knew what he wanted. He believed that being part of the military was one step closer to leadership, one step closer to the destiny his mother had spoken over him. During his years in the army, Abiy didn't just serve, he excelled. He became an intelligence officer and rose to the rank of lieutenant colonel. People who knew him said he was quiet but focused, a man who thought deeply before he spoke, and someone who carried himself with unusual confidence for his age. And here's the remarkable part. Even then, as a young soldier, Abiy told his friends that one day he would become the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. He would even promise them positions in government once he got there. It sounded unbelievable. After all, Ethiopia was a vast country with a long history, and leadership seemed almost untouchable. But Abiy spoke with so much conviction that his friends believed him. Step by step, Abiy climbed higher. He wasn't just a soldier, he was a thinker. He studied peace and security, earning multiple degrees, including a PhD. He understood that to lead Ethiopia, he would need both the strength of a soldier and the wisdom of a scholar. His education made him stand out from many of his peers in politics. Then came the year 2018, a year that would change everything. Ethiopia was in crisis. Years of unrest, protests, and division had shaken the nation. People were demanding change. Out of this chaos, Abiy Ahmed was chosen as the new prime minister. He was only 41 years old, the youngest leader in Africa at the time. When Abiy stepped into office, he moved quickly. Within weeks, he lifted bans on political parties, released thousands of political prisoners, opened up the media, and welcomed back exiled opposition groups. It was as if Ethiopia was reborn overnight. People who had lost hope began to dream again. Crowds filled the streets to celebrate this new leader who spoke the language of peace, unity, and progress. One of his boldest moves was making peace with Eritrea after 2 decades of bitter war. The images of Abiy Ahmed walking hand in hand with Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki shocked the world. 2 countries that had shed blood for years were suddenly shaking hands and promising friendship. For this achievement, Abiy Ahmed was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. The world celebrated him as a symbol of hope, a leader who showed that even the deepest wounds could be healed. But of course, the journey has not been without challenges. Ethiopia is a land of many ethnic groups, many languages, and many identities. Leading such a diverse nation is never simple. In recent years, conflicts have erupted, and critics have questioned his leadership. Yet through it all, Abiy has remained committed to his vision of building a united and prosperous Ethiopia. What makes his story so powerful is not just the victories, but the persistence. From the little boy in Bashasha, hearing his mother's prophecy, to the teenager who joined the army, to the soldier who whispered to his friends about his dream. Abiy Ahmed never gave up. He held on to the belief that destiny was real, but only if you worked for it. And that is the greatest lesson from his life. Dreams are powerful, but they mean nothing if you don't put in the effort. Abiy Ahmed dreamed of becoming prime minister, but it wasn't just a dream. He backed it up with years of discipline, education, sacrifice, and service. And in the end, he made it happen. So, what about you? What is the dream that you carry? Maybe people laugh at it. Maybe it feels impossible. But Abiy's story shows us that no dream is too big if you believe in it and work for it every single day. And that is the moral of the story. Don't just dream. Prepare. Work hard. Be disciplined. And when the opportunity comes, be ready to seize it. Because one day, like Abiy Ahmed, you might look back and realize you didn't just dream about your future. You lived it.